We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those.
Something big about to happen. I hear the beat tapping. We some fly rhyming felines rapping on the track. Better yet, grab a gat, cause we hot like Enzo. Doors closed, windows up, cause that's the way we like to ride. Windy City hitting. Check mic 1 2 1 2. We live, baby. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Speak Your Mind Radio. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Mzhiphop, aka Queen Star. And today I would like to introduce a special artist with us by the name of James. How are you doing, James?
I'm doing well, doing great today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Of course.
Well, James, I like to start off all my shows with an icebreaker question for the artist. So are you ready?
Yes.
Cool. What is your what is your least favorite food and why?
It would have to be peanuts because I'm allergic to them.
Dang. That sucks.
Yeah, but if I could imagine, it tastes kind of like grainy. If I had to imagine like wheat, like spread wheat, if I had to take a guess, right? Like a butter?
That's a good question, to be honest with you. I guess so.
Because by the time I eat peanuts, I'm breaking out. I can't take nothing. I can't breathe. It's over for me.
That's all bad, man. Well, I can see why that's your least favorite food, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, James, so let's get right into it. How long have you been making music and what got you into it?
All right, so let's say roughly around 2003, I started making music. Apple had just released those bubble computers. Remember, they were colored. They had the green, they had the blue and pink. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my mother got me one of those, and it already had programs on it. So as a child, and this was back when the internet was early, so I didn't have like an interest in the internet, but I had an interest in Apple's application products, and that's what I appreciate the most. And as a child, believe it or not, I would take music and would put it on top of other music. And I was somewhat like DJing at the moment. So that was my early conceptions of making music. Not even like making beats or singing or rapping, but it was almost DJing. And also before I had that computer back in 2003, I used to play around with cassette tapes, listen to the radio, pick up certain beats and certain rap instrumentals, and would put them all on a mixtape. And I also had, those little record players, and I would scratch them. So, and this wasn't like a DJ scratch. So this was essentially taking an Al Green record and ruining it because I wanted to be a DJ at that time and wanted to produce music. So that's how early and how rough my music got started. But it, in some ways, from those early stages, you can see where I'm at now.
Yes, definitely. I guess that was a good question for me to ask, because what you just said actually brings light to the sound of your music. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And everybody out there, you're going to see what I mean and everything. As far, it's a different sound. It's just really different. But okay, tell everyone what your unique rap name is.
Okay, so it wasn't it hasn't come on to me recently, but for a while it just racked with my mind that a lot of people actually would get my name mixed up or don't know how to pronounce my name. So it's PLS, you don't have to say please, and then you have the letter X in front of the word Xzady without an extra D in the word Xzady. So you would just pronounce it Pls Xzady.
Damn.
Now, where I got that name from is kind of personal because I was with an ex-girlfriend and I would please her sexually and she would say, Sam Zaddy, and I'm like, I like that name, that nickname. And she was like, no, I'm not really calling you that all the time, but I would try to please her and love her as much as possible so she could keep on calling me that. So when I went on from other women, I get them to say that to me, and I'm like, what? I think that ought to be my nickname, Zaddy. Why not?
Wait, I gotta ask you this because there was a sitcom by Issa Rae called Insecure, and this is the first time I heard Zaddy, like Zaddy. That's the first time I ever heard that word put like that before. That series just came out maybe like a year or two ago. So not to get in your personal business like that, but when you were with that young lady at the time, was it a year or two ago?
No, this was this was back in 2012, 2013, back when we thought the Mayan calendar was going to destroy the world. Something weird like that.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Well, you heard him, you heard his unique name, y'all.
Yeah. So it's all organic, and it came with time, actually.
Yeah, I see. Who are some of your favorite artists you look up to?
So back when I was younger, we could rewind the clock to 04, and if you can imagine those rappers back out, my top 4 rappers were Nas, DMX, Busta Rhymes, and Kanye West.
Damn.
And out of those 4, I'll be rooting for them. But as you could tell, over time, some would slow down. Some had the infamous beef, as you know, with Nas and whatnot. And the only one left up to 2010 still was Kanye West, basically. As far as spotlights still tracking plaques on plaques.
True.
And in the modern age now, I'm looking at so many other artists that aren't even rappers, and to be honest, myself, I could be in that frame of mind of always just taking rap, but honestly, other artists have influenced me subconsciously, or if I don't want to admit it, some pop or rock bands would influence me.
Okay, glad you brought that up, pop and rock, Let me ask you, what genre of music would you say your sound falls into?
All right, so it's like a 3-tier list. Top tier, what everybody could basically guess, is alternative rap.
True.
Under that, I would say I'm an experimental artist.
True. But
underneath, if I was to pick up an instrument, I would be categorized as industrial musician, because my sound isn't clear, and it's really artsy. It could be driven in different ways.
Yeah, it takes the ear in different directions. And like I said, when you were telling me a little bit about yourself, when you messed up the Al Green record because you call yourself DJ, and I heard all that. I heard all that in the song. I'm like, because it's like I hear a beat on top of a beat. You said that too, in a sense. It was 2 different songs playing, and then my ear went to the beat that I was like, kind of nod my hand to, oh, I wish you would take. I'm just telling you, I wish you would take this beat out separately and let me hear it by itself, because I was, which made me internally like the song,
Yeah. The music also points to my personality. Sometimes I feel divided, and to unify that would bring the 2 sides together. So, that's where you get that signature sound of, I swear I hear counter melodies on his music.
Wow, that's you're very interesting, to say the least. You really are.
It takes time. If you met me back in 2012 with that first high school girlfriend, I was a different creature.
I believe you. I'm serious. I really do. I'm not gonna even touch on that, but I get what you're saying.
And also musically, before I leave that point, is until I got into a relationship with Stakes and actually lost something that I appreciate, really drove me as an artist, really matured me. Wow. So that was a focal point, you know, and at me as an artist, I have to say.
Yeah, I really like the way you speak. You know how to express yourself. I was gonna ask you, speaking of like just your music in general, like let's discuss your single "I Love You." Mm-hmm. This is a very different and unique song, and I really like the lyrics and the tone of voice that you use. Mm-hmm. Did you produce this track yourself, and how do you usually record your songs?
All right, now I didn't produce a track, and that's what makes that track a bit more unique and why I hold it close. For a long time, I did produce my music, and until I got my music involved with other people, other folks would express, "Hey James, why don't you reach out to other producers? Can I rap on this beat?" And I will open up to those possibilities. So to give y'all an insider on that song is about the ex-girlfriend, and it was right after hearing a disturbing voicemail that I got from her, and the only words I could muster up is to tell her, "Hey, I love you with all my heart. I love you." That's basically the chorus. So the beat is produced by DJ Pat, and this guy is a free beat producer way back in the day on SoundCloud, and you virtually cannot find this guy anywhere. He must have, went up and got famous, changed his name, got, his sound produced, or, the latter. And I won't digress into that. But, when I found that sound, I was like, wow. It's kind of cool that me as a producer is able to find that sound that I want, because I guess artists would just be going off of their thoughts. They're not thinking about production-wise how to match those tones, those lyrics to the melody of the beat. So as a producer, I had that insight, I believe, to find that right beat to, lay down that simple message.
Yeah. Okay, look, before I keep talking about this song, can you introduce the track to all the listeners out there? I want them to hear this.
All right. So the name of the song is called "I Love You." It is by Pls Xzady. It is a single all by itself.
Let's get it, man.
Let's get it.
Griffin, you know I love you, right? I do say bad things to you. I say it, but I don't really mean it. You should know that, right? Yo, I roll up, Love you, girl. Girl, you know I love you. I love you. You know I love you. I love you with all my heart. With all my heart. I love you. I love you with all my heart. With all my heart. I be getting tired of all the fucking lying, and I be getting tired of all the fucking yelling, and I be getting tired of all the fucking accusations and all the waiting and all the complaining and all the times I had to wait on you, and I had to put up with all your lying and all your attitude, and I got tired of that shit. I'm tired of you, but I really love you though. Fuck you. Yeah. Reppin', you know I love you, right? I do say bad things to you. I say it, but I don't really mean it. You should know that, right? Yo, I roll up, you know? Love you, girl. You know I love you. I love you. You know I love you. I love you with all my heart. With all my heart. I love you. I love you with all my heart. With all my heart.
What's up, y'all? You know, that was I Love You. You know what I'm saying? That's a great, unique song. Man, I hope you guys really enjoyed that because I know I did.
Yeah, the song starts off with like a monologue
Yeah.
of confessing, my faults, saying, I say bad things, but beyond all those bad things, I roll up, meaning, I'm able to provide a substance to relax your mind or your moods. And then I go into the singing, and then it repeats that same monologue just briefly and goes into the chorus again.
Yeah, like I said, the shit is unique and I definitely enjoyed it. So thank you for bringing that song on the show today.
Of course.
Yeah, much love.
And also, I did my research.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to some of your interviews, and I picked up you like some singing. You like a little pop sound. So I was like, you know what? Let me give that to her. I think she'll like it.
That is so dope of you that you like took the time to kind of dig through that and figure that out, because as much as I love hip hop, I really really fucking love pop music and and shit like that, electronica, dance. If your shit is different, I'm feeling it.
Thank you.
For sure. Okay, James, I want to end the segment off with some fun questions. And I always do this with all the artists that come on the show. So are you ready?
Yes.
Cool. This is just something I want to know too, and it's also a random question considered fun. But what projects are you currently working on?
All right. So to nail it and make it simple is a trilogy project that I am working on called Sex Drive, Sex Driven, and Sex Driver. Now, the reason why I'm calling it that is because I noticed that my sex drive motivates me even outside of intercourse. I noticed that I could get to know somebody and fall in love with them through my sex drive, through that interest. And I would also challenge myself in channeling that feeling, that motivation in my music. And I'm like, you know what? If this is my strength, let me ride on that. Let me go out with a big bang. Let me give them a full-length project. Let me take them on a journey. So that's where Sex Drive, as a phonics sort of plays, as a pun, right? Take them on a journey and be sex-driven,
Okay. All right. I feel you.
So also outside of rap, because that whole Sex Drive project is going to be my last rap album. And the reason why is because I've been rapping for so many years, and there's so many limits that rap could take you on, and there's other limits that singing could give me. So I, want to sort of change paths and sort of get away from rap a bit. Rap does have its caviars. You can explain and detail things a whole lot better and quickly through a rap song than through singing.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that a lot of singing songs, people don't pick up on the lyrics, and they're like, "Holy crap! I didn't know I was singing about kids shooting each other." All the other kids and
The
I'm gonna
melody.
have to get my gun or something like that. I didn't, people were singing that. The Hey Y'all by Outkast, smash hit. But Andre 3000 was singing about heartbreak, So a lot of things that if you want people to pay attention to through rapping, yes, you could awaken a lot of people. Like you listen to Kendrick Lamar's albums, you listen to J. Cole's albums. A lot of things that they're saying is just won't go over your head. It would toil with your brain those ideas. But through singing, I noticed, okay, you could express yourself a little more freely. You could have a lot of things go underneath the radar, and that's what I want to try out.
Wow. Oh, that's very interesting because I've always thought just the opposite that a lot of things go over people's heads in rap. There's a lot of people out there that will just listen to a rap song purely based off the artist. Oh, I like him, or the beat is hot. Like, okay, what else about the beat? What is he saying over this beat, though?
You're totally correct.
Yeah.
I believe there's a lot of people that just listen to the beat and we're like, okay.
Right. I'm like, what the hell? Like, you ain't just hear what this dude just said or this girl just said? Like, y'all gotta listen. Listen.
Yeah.
But that's,
imagine.
Yeah, it's just freaky deep that you thought that singing goes over a lot of people's heads, and now I kind of see what you mean. So I think that for me, singing would be a tad bit easier to interpret. You know what I'm saying?
Interpretate.
Yeah, because it's just like words. It's like poetry to me, and that's it. You feel me?
Yes.
Yeah. But anywho, what was your favorite subject in grade school?
On a personal note, I didn't excel in school. I suffered from ADD.
Really?
And, my mind would just be running and running and running. And that was just a terrible environment for me because for a person that could be pretty antsy in his pants, school requires you to be quiet, to pay attention, to be focused. And in that environment, I just always wouldn't, succeed or pass. So I got to like about middle of senior year in high school, and I had to finish out school, and then I went to community college for a few courses. Well, actually, before community college, I went on and got my certificate because I did the speed courses and did broadcasting. Wow. And while I was working from a local town, for their broadcasting and TV network, then I went to community college for just overall education. But they told me, please mark down something. So I went on and marked down chemistry because science really racks with my brain. When I'm not into music, oddly enough, I'm studying geology and anthropology, really, weird things like that.
Okay. You also, just based off everything that you just said, you just reminded me that you also are the host of your own podcast, NMM Radio, correct?
Yeah, like you say, Eminem the rapper.
Right.
You could, just switch the E with the N, and you basically got the name. I don't mind if people say Eminem.com because creating it,
Mhm.
I was even consciously thinking, oh yeah, you're basically saying Eminem the rapper, you know,
Mhm.
as your radio program. So people might interpret this as like a shady aftermath thing. But as soon as they would see the name, NNM would stand for Nightmare Mode. And
Wait, say it again. It stands for what?
Nightmare Mode.
Nightmare mode.
Yes.
Cool. What the hell? What does that mean?
So in video games, you will have novice, beginner, intermediate, hard mode. Very rarely do you have expert or nightmare mode. So
Mhm.
in the video game world, the pros will go after the nightmare mode, the hardest scores, you know.
Mhm.
And in real life, I felt like it is on nightmare mode. You only have one life, and the score that you got is the score you got to play with, you know, in this real world. This
Mhm.
isn't on beginner, so that's what made me run with nightmare mode. But on a more professional note, I would just call it NNM radio, and you know, let them think of what that could mean until they ask.
Exactly. Exactly. So you're so artsy. I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much, James, for coming on today's show to bless my microphone. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I am, you know, really blessed to be on this radio show. I am honored. As a fan, I'm not even going to make it sound like I was around since last year. No, I discovered you this year. So, you know, it's really humbling that you were able to home in on my sound, bring me into the fold, and getting me up on your show, because that's a task, and I, you know, being on the other side of that stick knows how that feels. So, you know, great job. I applaud you on your consistency and your professionalism, because I believe the last impression is your first impression. You
Damn.
know, that last taste in your mouth, that's
Mhm.
how you're going to impress other people, or give that impression to other people. So through you, you're just so professional, you're so consistent. That's what I like about you, and I will have to give you that honor.
Wow. Thank
So
you so much, James. That was a really beautiful compliment that you just gave me.
anytime. This might be a little off subject, but I do like the Truth Disciples podcast.
Yeah, boy, the truth to say. Look, I just did an interview with him. I swear to God, right before we got on here today, me and you. I just got through done with the interview. I'm gonna put his interview out too. I haven't edited shit, but I'm gonna do it.
Awesome. I can't wait, because his ideas sounds just like mine in my head, and I would hear him and I'm like, no, don't say that. And I'm like, you know what, you know what he's talking about. Just let him speak. Get to the point, you know. I really love his content, and I'm gonna reach out to him just to shoot a question. Maybe I'll get on an interview with him. I would love to pick his brain.
Wow, you are so awesome. Duh. Yeah, so cool. Thank you so much. And he's like my
Anytime.
best friend podcaster, if that makes sense, or whatever. He's so super cool.
Yeah, I understand. Partnership.
Yeah, you really touched my heart. Thank you so much again. That's all I can like keep saying and everything. And just thank you for coming on the show and bringing your very unique, ununiformed style of music. Yes.
No problem. Have a blessed Palm Sunday, and keep safe in this quarantine.
Thank you. Thank you. You keep safe too, you and your family.
All right.
All right, guys. We're going to get up out of here today. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it and supporting today's show. And I love you all. And bless up, y'all, and peace out.
Yes, this is Pls Xzady of NNM Radio. Thank you for tuning in, and we are out.